Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Strat Baseball History. My name is Joe, and this is your Strat Baseball History broadcast of the Thursday night. Don't know what the heck I'm talking about. You will, oh, you will. No, we're here to take on game number 2 of the New York Mets doubleheader against the Pirates on 4/15/1962 as I try to learn how to organize my thoughts. It's harder than you would think. But here we are. The lineups are set. The game is set up and ready. As you can see, we've moved to this format of manual entry on the PC, and we've got the cards here for you to view. The dice rolls will be slightly off-screen, although you'll occasionally see them come across like that. If I could roll them that controlled every time, you'd watch them all, but I can't, because I'm just not that good at it. In any case, the Mets won Game 1 of the doubleheader, and they are 3-2 on the season, believe it or not, in 1962 when they were an expansion team and lost a record 120 games to only 40 wins. The Pirates have fallen to 2-3, and for Game 2 of the doubleheader, these are their lineups. You've got Vern Law on the mound for the Pirates, and Jay Hook on the mound for New York. The lineup for the Pirates is center fielder Bill Verdon, shortstop Dick Groat, batting third Bill Skinner in left, Don Clendenin getting a start today at first base. I believe that's the first time we've started him this season, and he's batting cleanup. Roberto Clemente, as usual, in right field and batting fifth. The catcher Sal Burgess, he took the first game off. Don Hoke batting third, he also took the first game off, and Bill Mazeroski at second base, batting eighth. The pitcher Law batting ninth. For the Mets, it's Richie Ashburn in right field, batting first, Elio Chacon at shortstop, Felix Mantilla at second base, Frank Thomas in left, Marv Throneberry at first, Joe Christopher at center, Howie Landreth getting his first start of the year at catcher, and Rick Hersher batting eighth and playing third today. And the pitcher Hook will be batting ninth. So the ump says play ball. Jay Hook is on the mound for New York, ready to pitch, and Bill Verdon waits for it. The pitch is a 4-4. That's going to be a fly ball out toward... oops, we actually have to start the game. In any case, it's going to be a fly ball out towards center field, where I believe it's Joe Christopher in center. Okay. And Christopher will roll him over now that we have our broadcast... cameras on, and make the catch for the first out against Pittsburgh. That brings up Dick Groat. Groat so far this season, 292, no homers and 2 runs batted in. And he fouls that one off. Waits for another pitch from Hook. This bodes well. Throwing dice off the table as soon as I start. That's going to be a 4-8. And Groat gets a hold of this one. He's going to hit it out toward left field. It's going back. Thomas is going back toward the wall at the warning track. Will it stay or will it go? It's off the wall, folks. It's going to be a double as Thomas gets it back in quickly. And Dick Groat ends up at second base with a 1-out double for Pittsburgh. That's going to bring up right fielder Bob Skinner. Skinner batting 200 on the early season, 4 for 20, and no home runs, 2 RBIs. Groat stands out at second, a small lead. Hook with the pitch. That is a 6-7. That's a line drive toward Mantilla. Actually, toward Chacon, single 1-7 line out to short. The 16 says Chacon reaches out and grabs that one for the second out. So 2 down here for Pittsburgh in the first inning. And Don Clendenin coming to the plate. He's 2 for 4 on the season. An even 500 batting average. And he waits for the pitch from Jay Hook. That's a 5-4 catcher's card X. Landreth is a 4, and we'll roll a 7. And Landreth fumbles it, can't pick it up, and throws it into the ground. Throneberry has to come off the bag to get it. And Clendenin will be safe at first. Groat moves over to third with 2 outs, so the runners at the corners, 2 down. Landreth annoyed with himself. First time he's been behind the plate this season, and he makes an error on the first play he gets. So, J-Hook ready to deal with runners at the corners to the great Roberto Clemente. Clemente batting .389 in the early going, 1 homer, 4 RBIs. Here's the pitch. That's a 1-8. Lines this one toward Hersher at third. It's a single 1-18 or a line out. It's past Hersher into the outfield. Thomas over quickly picks it up and throws it in. But the damage is done. Grote scores. Clendenon to second. Held there by the throw in. And Clemente is on at first with an RBI single, and the Pirates have a 1-0 lead. That'll bring up Smokey Burgess, the catcher. Burgess, 308, no homers and 5 RBIs and 13 at-bats so far. He's been productive. And he waits. First and second, 2 outs for the pitch from Hook. That's a 5-7. Grounder toward Mantilla at second base. Gonna roll a 5 on the second base for chart. And that is a single. Gets past him into the outfield. Runner's going to advance 2 bases, if you can believe it. Everybody was moving with 2 outs. So Clemente on to third. Clendenon in to score. And an RBI single for the catcher, Smokey Burgess. And Pittsburgh now leads 2-0. With 2 down here and runners at the corners. And that'll bring up Don Hoke, the third baseman. Hoke in 10 at-bats, batting an even .500. 5 for 10 with a double, a triple, a home run, and 4 runs batted in. So, a productive start for Hoke, and he's ready to go. The pitch from Hook, it's a 5-12. Grounder back to Hook, and he's going to snag it and flip over to Throneberry for the 3rd out of the inning. The old 1-3, and the Pirates are gone. They leave 2, but they score 2 and 3 hits, and lead the Mets 2-0 after half an inning. Vern Law will take the mound for Pittsburgh. Law so far on the season 0-1 at 13.5 ERA. He's pitched 2 innings, given up 2 hits and a few runs. I guess 3 runs, actually. And he will get the start here. He's ready to go against Richie Ashburn. Ashburn on the early season, .455. That's 5 for 11. A triple, a home run, and 2 runs batted in. Ashburn ready. And the pitch from Law is a 3-5. That's a single 1-14 or a line out to Mazeroski at second. Mazeroski gets it. 15. A little ice cream cone in his glove, but he holds on. And Ashburn is retired for the first out. It's going to bring up the today third baseman, I believe, Elio Chacon. Chacon, 333. He's 6 for 18 with a double and 2 RBIs so far on the season. Here's Vern Law. That's a 3-12. A fly ball out toward Clemente and right. Doesn't look like he'll have a problem with it. And he roams over and makes the catch. Retiring Chacon for the second out. That brings up Felix Mantilla, 190. 1 homer and 4 RBIs and 21 plate appearances. Vern Law with the pitch. That's a 2-9. Grounder out toward Grote at short. He picks it up and flips to first base to retire Mantilla. So the Mets go 1-2-3 here in the first. Law lowering his ERA immediately. And J. Hook returns to the mound for the Mets. To pitch to the bottom of the order, Mazeroski, Hook, and then Verdon at the top. Here's Bill Mazeroski. 333, triple, a homer, and 5 runs batted in so far, 18 at-bats. He waits for the pitch from Hook. How about a 4-9? And Mazeroski gets a hold of this one. He drives it back to deep left field. It's heading toward the foul pole. Is it going to be fair or foul? It's a fair ball, ladies and gentlemen. Frank Thomas can't do a thing about that as Bill Mazeroski leads the inning off with a home run and puts the Pittsburgh Pirates up 3-0. It was just a hanging curveball that didn't break, and Hook shakes his head as Mazeroski knew exactly what to do with it. And that's going to bring up the pitcher for the Pirates, Vern Law. Law, this is his first at-bat of the season. 3-7. And he lines it back up the middle. A good piece of hitting there by Law. Just kept his hands back, waited on the changeup, and flicked it back up the middle for a base hit. Oops, there's not two pitchers in this game. Hold on. There we go. It's going to bring us back to the top of the order and Bill Verdon. Verdon 0 for 1 on the day. A runner on first and nobody out. Here's the pitch. It's a 6-3. And he loses Verdon. Hook walks Verdon, and now he's got problems, folks. There's a run in already. 2 men on, nobody out. And Dick Grote comes to the plate. Grote 1 for 1 today. He had 3 hits in the early game today. I wonder if this is a bunting spot, but he's so hot, you'd be surprised if they ask him to. Hook's ready, would love a ground ball here. How about a 5-5? That is a ground ball toward Chacon at short. We're going to check the X chart. It's a 6 on a shortstop 4. That's past him into the outfield. That's a base hit. And Christopher over quickly and gets it back in. The throw to home is going to hold the Law at third. But the bases are loaded. Nobody out here. And the Pirates are threatening a big inning, folks, as Bob Skinner comes up. Skinner 0 for 1 today against Hook. And Hook on the mound quickly, wastes no time, and he's ready with the pitch. 2-11. It's chopped right back to Hook. He's going to spin and fire to Chacon for 1. On to Throneberry at first for the double play, but Law will score the run. And Verdon moves on to third. But I screwed something up. Hold on. Oh, I said stays at his base. That should be scores. So Verdon ends up at third, but the Mets do get 2 outs here, and that should help them avoid too much damage, as 2 more runs score in this inning. Hook just now has to deal with Clendenon, who's 0 for 1. Reached on an error his first time up. Verdon perched at third. The Pirates up 4-0 already, and it's a 6-5. That's a fly ball out to right. Richie Ashburn will come over and make the play no problem to retire Clendenon for the third out. So the Pirates leave 1, score 2 more. And now lead 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. Verdon takes the mound, happy to see he's got a lead. And he'll deal with the heart of the Mets order, Thomas, Throneberry, and Christopher. Here's Frank Thomas. His picture's all wrong, folks, but you can bet this is the 1962 New York Mets version of Frank Thomas, not the Chicago White Sox slugger from the 90s and 2000s. Thomas thus far in the season, 474, no homers, 7 RBIs. He's ready for the pitch from Law. And it is a 6-8. That's going to be a home run 1 to Florida, double 5-20. This one's driven out to the left center field gap between Skinner and Verdon. They're both running back, but nobody's going to get it. Is it going to stay in the park? It is, just off the top of the wall with a 5, the first double. And Thomas pulls into second with a 2-base hit to lead off the inning. Claps his hands and says, "Come on, Throneberry, get me home, baby, get me home." So Marv steps up to the plate, batting 118 on the season. 2 for 17 with 1 home run and 1 run batted in. His other hit on the season's a double, so Marv's been doing the extra base job, but not much hitting for average yet. Law is ready with the pitch, with Thomas on second. That's a 1-10, and Marv can't make contact. He is going to strike out. That's his 7th strikeout already this season. Joe Christopher comes to the plate. Christopher batting 154 with no homers and no runs batted in. 2 for 13 for those counting. And here's Vern Law. How about a 6-7? It's a grounder toward Mazeroski at second. Mazeroski, of course, an excellent fielding. He's a 1. And he will scoop that one up and shoot it over to Clendenon for the second out. But Thomas will go to third on the ground ball to the right side, and there are 2 outs. So Thomas at third and Howie Landreth coming up. He's 0 for 1 on the season. And he will try to do something to get Thomas home or continue this inning. Vern Law will have it a different way. It's 2-7. There's a single up the middle for Landreth, and he does the job. Gets the run home. Claps his hands as he's got himself an RBI single, and the Mets are on the board, now trailing just 4-1. Landreth not a stealing threat, as you would imagine, and Rick Hersher is going to take his first at-bat of the season against Law here with Landreth at first and 2 down. That's a 5-4 grounder toward third. Hoke is a 2. On the X chart, a 16. Third base 2 is going to be an out, so Hoke's going to pick it up and fire it over to Clendenin to end the inning for New York. But the Mets score a run. They leave 1. And now trail 4-1 as we go to the third. Roberto Clemente to lead off the inning for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's 1 for 1 with a RBI today. 4-8. Clemente gets a hold of this one, driven out toward the gap in left center. Is it going to be deep enough? No, it's off the top of the wall as well. The ball's just not carrying today, folks, but Clemente has himself a leadoff double. And the Pirates are threatening again right away as Smokey Burgess comes to the plate. He's also knocked in a run in his 1 plate appearance. An RBI single his first time up, and he's ready for the pitch from Hook, who does not seem to have trouble finding a plate today, but he's not fooling anybody. That's a 4-2. Line drive, but right at Throneberry at first. And he makes the first out. Clemente, standing on second, didn't even have a chance to move. Took 1 step back to the bag and stood there as Throneberry made that play. That'll bring up Don Hoke 0 for 1. Clemente at second with 1 down. Hook with the pitch. It's a 4-6. And he loses Hoke. He has the open base, though, and that'll set up a double play if you're a New York fan. But also puts an extra runner on if you're a Pittsburgh Pirate adherent. So, J. Hook ready to face Bill Mazeroski. Mazeroski took the first pitch he saw from Hook today and hit it over the left field fence for a home run. He'd love to repeat that feat right here. Hook hopefully going to pitch him differently. The pitch to Mazeroski is a 5-7. He gets him on the ground this time toward Mantilla. It's an 8 on a second base 4. Mantilla boots it. Oh my. Sloppy play by the Mets here. Mantilla cannot pick up the ball. And it's bases loaded with Vern Law coming to the plate. Well, Law is pitching pretty well so far, so they're not going to take him out in the third. He's going to have a chance to drive in some runs here and help his own cause. J. Hook ready. And the pitch to Law. That's a 4-8, and oh my! Law catches a hold of this one, puts it into that left field alley where everybody's been hitting today, out between Thomas and Christopher. 1-3 home run, 4-20 double. Is it deep enough, ladies and gentlemen? It's not. It's off the wall on 1 bounce. Hoke's going to score. Clemente's going to score. Let's see. Mazeroski has the option. He's a 1-13 to score with 1 out. We're going to go ahead and give it a try. And no! He's going to be thrown out at the plate. Oop, wrong one. So 2 runs will score, but Mazeroski, waved down by the third base coach, with a pretty good chance of scoring, but a spectacular throw from Christopher in center as he recovered that ball. And that's going to be the second out. Vern Law has a 2 RBI double. Helping its own cause, putting the Pirates up, 6-1. And that's going to bring up Bill Verdon with Law out at second and 2 down. It's a great job by Christopher hitting the cutoff man, and Chacon just threw a perfect throw to Landreth at home to nail Mazeroski. Well, Hook back on the mound. He's in big hole here already, 6-1. And that's a 3-9. There's a ground ball towards second. Mantilla is going to scoop it up and flip to Throneberry for the out. That'll retire the side, but Pittsburgh scores 2 more. They've scored 2 in every inning so far. They leave 1. And they lead by a score of 6-1. This is Strat Baseball History, folks. My name is Joe, and you can follow the entire season replay at our blog at www.stratbaseballhistory.com. I'll be posting the results of these Sunday games tonight after I finish this one because it's the last game of the day. So, due to lead off for the Mets here is the pitcher, Jay Hook. I just want to take a look at the bullpen and see what options they have. They're not too bad. They actually have all 5 pitchers available, if not fully rested. So I think we're going to have to pinch hit for Hook here and try to get something going for New York. Well, this one gets completely out of hand. So Hook heads for the showers. Pardon me while card organization happens and a pinch hitter is selected. If you have any questions, comments, or otherwise about the game, the replay, or anything else Strat-O-Matic or baseball related, feel free to talk to me as I stream these games. You won't slow me down and we'll have a good time. So, the pinch hitter for the Mets. Let's see who we've got here. Got a lot of guys available. And somebody who's going to get on base. We are monitoring usage. Jimmy Hickman's getting the day off right now. I think we're going to go with Gil Hodges. Hodges is a part-time player in his veteran years here for the Mets. He's going to come up and pinch hit for Hook. Hodges 4 for 7 on the year with 3 runs batted in. And he'll be ready for the pitch for Vern Law to lead off the third for New York. That's a 3-3. Grounded down to Hook at third. He will make the easy play on 2 hops and sling it over to Clendenin to retire Hodges for the first out of the inning. So the pinch hitter can't get anything done. And here's Richie Ashburn, 0 for 1 on the day so far. And that's a 2-9. He lofts this one out toward Verdon in center. Verdon makes the catch to retire Ashburn for the second out, and that's going to bring up Elio Chacon. 0 for 1 on the day. He flew out his first time up. And here's Law with the pitch. That is a 6-10. Another fly ball out towards, trust me, that was a 6 before I touched it. Fly ball out towards Verdon in center. And it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for New York. And they're going to have to find themselves a new pitcher. So Hodges takes a seat. And with the Mets in a hole, going to go to Vinegar Bend Meisel. Vinegar Bend Meisel is his name. I've never heard of him until I opened up this card set. So he will replace Hodges in the 9 hole and pitch for New York. To face the 2-3-4 hitters for Pittsburgh. So Meisel coming into the game. This is his first appearance of the season. In 62, in real life, he was 1-3, a 6.63 ERA, and 5 starts, 54 innings. Well, Meisel, not a great pitcher, but the Mets are an expansion team. They're not going to have all good players, folks. And here they are, with Meisel taking the mound in the 4th. They're in the hole 6-1. That's almost a concession. Unless this offense can get going and Meisel can outperform his advanced billing. Well, let's see how he does against Grote, who's 2 for 2 on the day and has 5 hits in the doubleheader. It's a 6-2, a fly ball out to right. Ashburn roams over and takes it with a can of corn. 1 down, easy out. Here's Bob Skinner 0 for 2 on the day against Meisel. That's a 5-6. There's a base hit up the middle. Nothing special there for Skinner. He just waited and thwacked it, and he'll be a 1-11 chance to steal. They're not going to. The 6-1 lead. Here's Clendenin. Clendenin 0 for 2 so far today. 1-6 is a base hit. Skinner will try for third. 1-14. The 6 says he makes it no problem. So Clendenin with the base hit, Skinner over to third. It's first and third with one out here, and Clemente coming to the plate. They're playing for the double play, and Clemente 2 for 2 with a double on the day and a RBI. Here's a 4-5. That's going to be a deep fly ball to Christopher in center. It's going to be deep enough that Skinner's going to tag and come on home. So Clendenin retreats to first. Clemente's got himself an RBI, and the Pirates now lead 7-1. We'll bring up Burgess. Clendenin still at first. He's a 1-11 chance, I think. Actually, he'd be a 1-9 if they're holding him, so. I'm going to let Burgess hit here. 4-6, and they lose Burgess. Mizell couldn't find the plate there, trying to be careful. It is his first appearance of the season, folks. He's got to be a little nervous. And first and second now. Everything okay, man? Alright, I will hurry it up. Don Hoke comes to the plate, first and second. The Mets trailing Pittsburgh 7-1 here in the fourth, and Mizell deals. That's a 2-12. Grounder back to Mizell. He's going to pick it up and throw over to Throneberry for the out. And that will retire the side here in the fourth. Pittsburgh does score another run, though. And now lead 7-1 going away. The Mets coming to bat in the fourth. Plenty of time to mount a comeback if you're a New York fan. But Vernlow is pitching pretty well so far. He's only allowed 2 base hits in 3 innings of work. And he'll face Mantilla to start things off. Felix 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-6. Mantilla's going to get a hold of this one. Will it get into the gap? That is the question. It's a single. As Skinner was over quickly to cut it off. So Mantilla is on first base. D. Steeler to lead off the inning for the Mets, and Frank Thomas, the big slugger, comes up. Once again, apologies for the universally wrong picture. Thomas 1 for 1 with a double on the day, and here's the pitch from Law. That's a 6-6. A line drive towards second base. It's a single on a 1-6. Otherwise, on a 17, it's a line out. So Mazeroski retires Thomas, and here comes Throneberry with 1 man on and 1 man out. About a 4-10. Grounder to short. Groats a 3. A 6 on the 3. He's going to pick it. No play at second. He'll fire to Clendenin at first. Mantilla goes to second, and that's a 6-3 for the second out of the inning. So Mantilla at second now with 2 down, and here's Joe Christopher. Grounded out his first time up. The pitch from Law is a 1-7. And Law loses him. Christopher will trot down to first with a base on balls. So the Mets have 2 men on, 2 men out, and Hobie Landreth to the plate. Landreth, the only RBI for the Mets today, a single in his first at-bat. Law with the pitch, a 2-7. There's another base hit for Landreth. That's up the middle. Let's see. Mantilla is in around third. And he's, let's see, where is he? 1-12 with 2 outs would be a 1-14 chance to score. They're going to wave him home, folks. And he scores easily as they throw the ball to third. So Mantilla home. The Mets now trail 7-2. Hobie Landreth, with his second RBI of the day and accounted for both Mets' runs here in his first start of the season. He's batting 1,000 so far, folks. And that'll be Rick Herscher coming up with Christopher at second, Landreth at first, and 2 Mets down. Herscher 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded out his first time up. Law is ready. Herscher awaits. The pitch is a 3-7. He lofts this one out. A routine fly ball to left. Skinner over to make the catch, and the inning is over for New York. But they're chipping away, folks. They got to run, and now they just have to hold him. It's 7-2 as Pittsburgh comes to bat in the 5th. So Mazeroski to lead it off. He homered and reached on an error so far today against Hook. This is the first time he's seeing Mizell. That's a 111. Grounded to third. Where'd that 6 go? Doesn't really matter. Hirschauer is going to make the pick and fire to Throneberry for the first out, retiring Mazeroski. That brings up the pitcher Law, who's 2 for 2. A single, a double, and 2 runs batted in his last time up. 5-4. And Meisel gets him swinging. Law was starting to have fantasies about hitting for the cycle there and swung like he was swinging for the fences. But Meisel broke it off and he couldn't make contact. So 2 down here for Pittsburgh in the 5th. And Verdon comes up. He's reached on a walk, otherwise flown out and grounded out. Meisel's pitch is a 3-4. He pops him up on the infield. Mentee is going to roam over and make that catch for the 3rd out of the inning. So Meisel settles down. Retires the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, 1, 2, 3. And the Mets will come to bat in the bottom of the 5th, trailing by 5. Law returns to the mound. It's going to be Meisel due to hit. As I said, the Mets have some length in their bullpen today, so we're going to see a pinch hitter here. So Meisel's day is done. He allows 1 run. 2 innings work. Yeah, the pinch hitter for him will this time be Jim Hickman. So Hickman coming in. He was enjoying his day off, but he'll come in to pinch hit early. Well, not day off. He played the first game. I'm happy to come in and play any day. It's a beautiful day for baseball, says Hickman, and he'd love to take a shot here at Law and get his team back in it. I'll tell you, these Mets are playing well the early going. They're 3-2 to start, and they're starting to believe they can contend, despite being an expansion team. On paper, it doesn't look that way, but we'll have to see if their hot streaks hold up. They have to start right now by mounting a comeback against this Pittsburgh Pirates squad and Vern Law. Well, Hickman's in the box on the left-hand side, right-hand batter's box. And Vern Law ready on the mound. Toes the rubber and he's ready to pitch. So it's a 5-7. And Hickman does his job, gets this one out toward the gap. Could get past everybody. Triple out of 1-2. Nope. It's going to be cut off by Verdon, who does a good job, but Hickman's got himself a leadoff single. Hickman, a C-stealer. Makes him a 1-10 with the hold on. Ashburn comes to the plate. Richie 0 for 2 today. He's hit the ball hard twice, lined out and flied out, and nothing to show for it. Law is ready. And the pitch. 6-2. It's popped up on the infield. This time he doesn't hit it hard, and Clendenin will roam over and take it for the first out. That brings up Chacon. 0 for 2 today. He's flown out twice. 2 routine fly balls for Chacon. Law is ready. The pitch is a 4-10. This one's grounded toward Grote at short. A 10 on the shortstop. 3 is going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Exactly what the doctor ordered for Vern Law there. And the Mets go down. No runs to show for it, and they need to select a new pitcher. It's going to be Bob G. Miller. He's going to bat 9th and come on to pitch against the Pirates. He'll have the unenviable task of starting off by facing Dick Grote, who's been hot as heck today. Which Miller is it? Yep, that's the one. So Bob Miller with the asterisk comes in. He's going to face Grote, Skinner, and Clendenin. Grote 2 for 3 today. 5 hits on the doubleheader. Here's the first pitch from Bob G. Miller. That's a 5-3. Rounded back to Miller, who's a pitcher 3. We roll a 5. And he picks it and throws over to Throneberry for the out. So one quick out here for Pittsburgh. Grote tapped that one back to the pitcher, and Skinner comes to the plate 1 for 3. How about a 2-7? Skinner draws a walk. So Skinner down to first. They will hold him on, and Clendenin to the plate. Don's 1 for 3 on the day, singled his last time up. A 6-8. And that one's in the gap for sure. That's going to be a 2-base hit. The only question, as I have to go back for a second, is whether Skinner tries to score. He's a 1 to 14. He's going to round third. They're waving him home. Got a big lead, and they are willing to take the risk to make it bigger. Hey, our Red Sox fan, how you doing, man? The Pirates score on the Don Clendenin double as Skinner comes in ahead of the throw, and the Pirates now lead 8-2. How you doing today, Al? Thanks for stopping by, man. Hope everything's good. Folks, if you're watching and you haven't checked him out, make sure you check out Al Red Sox Fan's YouTube channel. Awesome guy, really, really good baseball content. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I know I do. As we sit here, watch the Pittsburgh Pirates beat the heck out of the New York Mets 8-2. Everything's good, brother. Everything's good. Just hanging out, playing some baseball. So Clemente will come to the plate with Clendenin on second and 1 out. Clemente 2 for 2 today. A single, a double, and a sac fly. He's driven in 2. And is a big part of this Pittsburgh attack as they lead 8-2 in the top of the 6th. Bob G. Miller on the mound. He'll deal to Clemente, and it's a 1-8. That's a line drive toward third. It's going to get past Hersher, a 16 on a 1 to 18 as a single. Thomas cuts it off quickly, charges in and throws it in, but Clendenin beats the throw to third. And Clemente has his 4th reach of the day. He's reached base all 4 times he's been up. He's going to bring up Smokey Burgess. He's 1 for 2. A single, a walk, and a line out. Runners on the corners, 1 down. Miller could really use a ground ball double play help out here. Well, this one could really get out of hand. The Pirates hoping for a big inning. They had their batting averages against Miller. It's a 6-5 grounder to short. Chacon is a 4, and that's a 5. That's going to get past him. It's a 1 single. Yep. The run scores. Clemente moves to second. And the Pirates, with another 2-run inning so far, now lead 9-2. So Don Hoke, ready to go. 0 for 2, a run scored. He's also walked today. And Miller struggling. That is a 1-2. That's a triple for Hoke, a bases clearing triple. This one rattles around in the left center field corner, gets past Christopher. He finally recovers, throws in, but it's too late. Hoke's in with a stand-up triple, and the Pirates now leading 11-2. Still just 1 out here. And Mazeroski to the plate, who's 1 for 3 with a home run way back in the 2nd. Seems like 3 games ago, Bill. Sure does, Joe. Well, here's Miller with the pitch to Mazeroski as we'll try to hurry this one up. That's a grounder down toward third. Hersher is a 4, a 12 on the 4. Going to be a out with no runners on base, otherwise the runners will hold, and Hersher looks Hoke back to third. Oops. Throws over to Throneberry to retire Mazeroski. And the run doesn't score. And with 2 outs now, he'll face Vern Law, who's helped himself well today. 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. Miller to deal to his counterpart Law. 6-9, that's a grounder. Toward Mantilla at second, he'll take it. And throw over to Throneberry to retire the side. So 1 left, but the damage is done. Pittsburgh scores 4 more runs. And now leads going away, 11-2. Bob G. Miller, welcome to the Bigs Leagues, just called up today to help the Mets pitching staff, and things are not going according to plan. Well, Law is back on the mound. He's pitched well today so far. Just 5 hits and 5 innings, 1 walk and 1 strikeout, and the 2 runs you see. He's going to face Mantilla, Thomas, and Throneberry here in the 6th. The Mets really need to get something going. And Mantilla is going to try his best. He's 1 for 2 on the day. That is a 4-8, and he's got a leadoff single. So Mantilla on at first. And brings up big Frank Thomas, who's doubled and lined out in his 2 plate appearances. Well, waste no time with the big lead. 5, a 4. It's a grounder down toward Hoke at third. Hoke's a 2, we roll a 5. And that's going to be an out. Fires over to Clendenin for the out. Mantilla will move to second. On the 5-3. So 1 down, and here's Throneberry with a runner in scoring position and 1 out. The pitch from Law, it's a 3-4. Ground ball to second base. Mazeroski scoops it, looks Mantilla back to second, and then flips it to Clendenin for the second out of the inning. Oh, the Mets 2 quick outs here, despite Mantilla being on, and it's Christopher's turn. He's 0 for 1 with a walk on the day. Law deals to Christopher, a 5-7. That's going to be a base hit out toward the gap. This could get past everybody. It does not, though, as Verdon, a very good center fielder, comes over and cuts it off. He'll hold it to a single. Mantilla is going to score. And Christopher has himself an RBI single. It's now 11-3, New York trailing. And Obi Landreth, who's 2 for 2 on the day, comes to the plate. Christopher is a B stealer. That makes him a 1-12 to go, but with 2 outs and in a big hole, they're going to hang out and let Landreth try to go 3 for 3. The pitch from Law, it's a 1-8. Well, he gets another base on balls. And Vern Law looks like he's getting a little bit tired. So the Pirates are going to pull him. Big lead and all. They're managing for the long run here, apparently. That's just how I work with Basic. Once they reach their POW, unless they have a shutout or a no-hitter going, they are headed for the showers. Solo works into the 6th here, gives up a big lead to his bullpen. He's got to feel pretty good about his job today, and especially about the man he gets to turn it over to, because he's going to give the ball to Roy Face. Face, a very capable pitcher. Probably going to try to go to the rest of the way. This is his first appearance of the season, believe it or not. But in 1962, he was 8-7 with a 1.88 ERA, 28 saves, 91 innings, 74 hits, 18 walks, and 45 strikeouts. So Face will come in and he'll face Hersher with, let's see, Christopher at second and 2 down. The Mets have a run in. Face would like to shut it down and get everybody home early. Well, there's a 2-8. That's a ground ball to shortstop B. Grote's going to pick it up and fire over to first to end the inning. So Hersher down, the Mets leave 2 and trail by a lot. 8 big runs as we head into the 7th. And the Pirates' best reliever on the mound for the rest of the way does not bode well for a New York comeback. Bob G. Miller, with his 10.17 real-life ERA in 1962, does not bode well for the Mets, holding the Pirates at 11. Mantilla is a very good player. It's a sparky guy. So Miller here to deal to Grote. Oh, actually, it says Verdon. Where's Verdon? Miller here to deal to Verdon to lead off the inning. That's a 5-4, and that's a base on balls. So Verdon reaches, and Grote coming up. Grote 2 base hits on the game, 5 on the day if you count the first game of the doubleheader. There's a 4-8. Make it 3 in this one as well, and that's a straight-up triple for Dick Grote. Just lofted it over everybody's head. Grote's bat's been really hot today. And that's another run for the Pirates, 12-3 now. Bob Skinner, with nobody out and Grote on third, just looking to hit something to the left side on the grounder in the air to cash him in. Excuse me, to the right side. That's a 3-11. And that's a base hit in the hole between Chacon and Hersher. Grote will trot home with yet another run, and Bob G. Miller has had enough. They were trying to get some innings out of him. It's not going to happen. Instead, they're going to go to, let's see, the big lead in jeopardy. It's going to go to Ray Davio. Davio pitched yesterday. He'll have to take a day off after this one. But he's just going to try to get through this, as the Mets are way, way, way out of reach at this point in the 7th, 13-3. Here's Clendenin with a runner on and nobody out. And Davio pitches. I put him in. I did 5-8. Another base hit. Skinner's going to get over to third. And it's first and third. Nobody out here in the 7th. 2 runs already in. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are enjoying batting practice today. Here's Clemente, 3 for 3. A single, a double, another single, 2 runs batted in, and a sac fly on the day. Clemente would like to keep his day perfect if he can. He has no sympathy for Davio. He's just out there doing his job. The pitch to Clemente, a 6-7. Grounder to second, Mantilla, a 4. A 10 on the second base 4. This is going to be a fielder's choice. So the run's going to score. Oops. As Mantilla flips to Throneberry, finally they get an out. Actually, that's not how that worked. We don't do that. He's actually going to flip to Chacon. And the run scores. So it's now 14-3. Clemente with another RBI on the ground ball. And Smokey Burgess comes to the plate with Clemente on first. About a 5-6. Davio strikes out Burgess. So finally, he broke one off. Didn't hang it. Found his touch and got Burgess swinging. It's going to bring up Don Hoke. 1 for 3. A 2-run, almost 3-run triple last time, but the runner was thrown out at home. So there's 2 down. Here's a 6-6. Fly ball to right field. Ashburn roams over. Gonna take it for the... Oops. Shucks. What I get for being in a little hurry. Final out of the inning. It's time for the 7th inning stretch, folks, and for most of the Mets fans here in attendance, they're headed for the parking lot, or the train. Oh, Roy Face resumes the mound, takes a couple of warm-up tosses, and he's supposed to face Davio to start things off. And Davio will, in fact, bat for himself. They want to get some innings out of him, save the rest of the bullpen if they can. So Face deals to Davio. It's a 6-6, lofts a fly ball to the left towards Skinner. And that's the first out of the inning. Here's Ashburn. A 1-8. Ashburn with a base hit. He's not giving up any at-bats. And he's on at first. It'll be a 1-12 if they hold him, and they do. And Elio Chacon coming up. Chacon 0 for 3 on the day. 6-2 line drive, but right at Clendenin. He takes it out of the air. And stares Ashburn back to first. And that brings up Mantilla, who's 2 for 3 with a couple of runs scored today. A big smile as he comes to the plate. No pressure here, folks, because 11 runs. Mantilla's just going to have his best at bat he can against Face. That's a 6-8. He hits this ball hard but right at Don Hoke, who also pulls this one down. No problem. Hoke didn't even have to move. The Mets are down here in the 7th and still trail by 11. So Mantilla hit the ball hard but has nothing to show for it. And Roy Face breathes a sigh of relief that his ERA will not be bloating in this inning. Don't think he really cares, just wants to get the job done for his team, Bill. Meet the Mets, greet the Mets, watch the folks leave the Mets. Very nice, Al. Very nice. Was 62 his last year? Probably. So Davio takes the mound. He'll face Mazeroski. Bill's homered today. He's thinking about hot dogs right now, though. And there's a base on balls as Davio can't find the plate. And that's going to bring up, that's the wrong batter card, Roy Face. Well, they're going to let Face hit, and I don't even think he's going to bunt, folks, with such a big lead. He's going to have some fun, see if he can't get a base hit today. So Davio deals 2. His counterpart Face hits a 5-9. A 5-9, folks. I don't know if you can see that. Well, bright and clear. A 5-9 is a home run. Gotta love basic, man. Roy Face goes yard against Davio. Pulls this one down the right field line into the corner, and it wraps itself around the foul pole. It's gone, if you can believe it. A 2-run home run for the relief pitcher, Roy Face. And the Pirates extend their lead by 2 more. They now lead a lot to nothing. Well, not nothing. The Mets do have 3 runs, folks, but it's 16-3 if you're counting. We stopped counting a couple innings ago. And Verdon comes to the plate. Feels a little annoyed. He doesn't have a hit today. He feels left out. You've played the Mets of 62 could hit, but the pitching was horrible. Oh, my God. There's someone I've never seen. There's the guy I just had a 10 ERA. This guy has a 6 ERA. There's another couple of guys on the staff with 6 ERAs. Roger Craig's card is just batting practice. And he has more innings than anybody else. Yeah, it's a rough go for them. Like you said, they can hit. But if these dice don't fall their way on pitching, they're in deep trouble. I don't imagine this is the last nearly 20-run game we'll see against them this year. Well, so Verdon trying to get on the hit parade, and nobody out. And it's a 3-9. Ground ball to second. Mencia scoops it, throws to Thornberry for the first out, and Verdon is annoyed that he's still hitless. Here's Grote. He's not having that problem. 3 for 5. A single, a double, and a triple. All he needs is the long ball for the cycle. Of course, Grote only hit 2 of those. Doesn't have a homer on his card. But maybe he can find that 5-9 on Davio's card. That's not an uncommon roll. Davio allowed 14 homers in 81 innings. So Grote in the box. How about a 210 instead? That's a line drive, but right at Herscherer for the out. So 2 down, and Skinner. Oops, yep, Skinner coming up. Davio with the pitch. Skinner 2 for 4. We're running out of room to display all their bats on the screen, and a 5-8 is going to be a base on balls. So Skinner throws a walk. And Clendenin to the plate. Manager staff batter by batter to try and win a game. Yeah, if I was flipping left and rights, it'd be an option, but it's not here. So in basic, everybody just gets their hacks. So here's Clendenin. Skinner at first. 2 outs. Davio ready. And it's a 6-2. Grounded back to Davio. He's going to scoop it up and fire over to first for the final out of the inning. But the Pirates score 2 more to add to their lead, and now 16-3 as we go to the bottom of the 8th. The Mets are running out of chances, and I think they know it. Roy Face just out to get some innings. Actually, yeah, they're going to pull Face because they're going to save him a little bit, honestly. See if we can find a mop-up guy for Pittsburgh. Only got 4 relievers due to an injury. That's the problem. Bob Veal will come in and pitch for the Pirates. And yes, that's the wrong Frank Thomas pick, if you were wondering. Veal going to come in and replace Face here after Face's 2-run home run. So Veal so far on the season, 2 innings pitched and no earned run yet. And he'll try to keep it that way as he faces Frank Thomas, not the Big Hurt, but the Mets variety, even though the pictures are lining up wrong. We need a 62 set of pictures to come out so we can replace these guys. This is the generic set of, that just goes by name. So this is the Frank Thomas that comes up when Frank Thomas gets queued up. But anyway, Veal's ready to go. Pitch to Thomas. It's a 4-10. And that's a ground ball to Mazeroski. He has no problems with it. Flips to Clendenin to retire Thomas for the first out. Here's Marv Throneberry. Throneberry 0 for 3 on the day. That's a 2-6. And he pops this one up on the infield. Mazeroski getting a little work this inning. He'll trot over, position himself under it, and make the catch for the second out. That brings up Joe Christopher, who's 1 for 2 with a run driven in. Veal delivers, and it's a 2-9. Strikeout of Christopher. Veal wasting no time. He'd like to go home, catch the early flight, and get some rest before they travel tonight. And that's going to be down to their final 3 outs in the 9th. If they can even keep it here, they would need 13 runs to make this one a ball game. Davio comes back out to pitch to Clemente, Burgess, and Hoke in the 9th. Here's Clemente, 3 for 4. 2 singles, a double, a sac fly, a fielder's choice. 3 runs batted in today for Clemente. Productive at-bats almost every time up. And a 6-8 is a fly ball to center. Christopher is going to take it and retire Clemente. So 1 down, and here's Burgess. 2 for 4 with a couple of runs driven in, like everybody else on the Pirates today. And it's a 1-12. He pops him up on the infield. Mantilla settles under it and puts it away for the second out. 2 quick outs for the Pirates here. The only time they've put up a 0 was back in the 5th inning. It would be an accomplishment if Davio could do that right now in the 9th. Here's Hoke, 1 for 4 with a triple earlier in the game. A 1-8, single 1 to 5, or a line out to second. A 15 says that's a line drive right to Mantilla. And if you can believe it, folks, finally a 1-2-3 inning against Pittsburgh, the first of the day, I believe. Davio keeps the score right where it is and gives his team a chance. As Bob Veal comes out to face Hobie Landreth, Hershiser, and Davio himself. Hobie Landreth, 2 for 2 with a couple of runs batted in today. That's a 5-10. Ground ball to shortstop. Groats a 3. We roll a 3. And that's going to get past him into the outfield for the third base hit today for Landreth. In his first start of the season, he's on the way to a big day. But it doesn't matter much, folks, as the Mets trail by 13. Here's Hershiser. Yeah, exactly right, Al. I couldn't find the 62 photo pack yet, so. Veal with the pitch to Hershiser. It's a 6-3. Fly ball left field X. Skinner's a 4. This might get down. A 12 on the 4. That is a base hit. So, a base hit. Landreth scurries over to third ahead of the throw, and it's first and third. Nobody out. And the pitcher Davio due up. They're actually going to go ahead and pinch hit for him. Hey, you never know. It could be a historic comeback today, folks. And unless you try, you won't find out. So the hitter for the Mets is going to be Choo-Choo Coleman. Going to get him an at-bat. He homered in the first game. It was part of the Mets' victory. So let's see how he does pinch hitting here for Davio with men on and nobody out. He does so well, he's not even listed as a photo. Veal, runners on first and third and nobody out, delivers to Coleman. Technical difficulty here. There we go. That's going to be a 4-8. Strikes out Coleman. Veal not having a sense of humor about affairs, he'd really like to wrap things up and get on the bus to the plane. And that brings up Ashburn, 1 for 4 on the day. How about a 2-11? That's a ground ball down to second. Mazeroski scoops it up, flips over to Grote, who turns it around to Clendenin. The old 4-6-3 game-ending double play. That's all, folks. The Pittsburgh Pirates beat the New York Mets in Game 2 of their doubleheader, 16-3. 18 hits for the Pirates, 10 for the Mets. 2 errors for New York and none for Pittsburgh. Let's see the box score and find out who our winners and losers are. For the Pirates, Vance Lowe goes 5 2/3 of 3-run ball and records the win. He goes to 1-1 on the season. Jay Hook gave up 4 earned runs and 6 real runs in 3 innings pitched. He's going to go to 1-1 for the Mets and take the loss. They split the doubleheader. My pleasure, Al Red Sox fan. Thanks for stopping by, man. So both the Mets and the Pirates are 3-3 on their early season. The big stars today at bat for Pittsburgh: Clemente 3 for 3 with 3 runs batted in. Clendenin was 3 for 6. Grote was 3 for 6. Seemed like Grote did something every time it came up. Every single Pirate scored a run, and everybody but the leadoff man Verdon had at least 1 hit and an RBI. So Verdon is buying the stakes tonight. See you, Al. Be well. Hope all goes well for you. And I'll see you next time you replay a game, hopefully. For the Mets, Mantilla, 2 for 4 with a couple of runs scored. And Hobie Landreth, a surprising day. His first start, must have been all pumped up, goes 3 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. Thanks, Al, man. I appreciate that. Well, guys, this is Joe for your Strat Baseball Network, reminding you that every day is a great day for baseball, and today's no different. So whatever you're going to do with the rest of your day, make sure you fit in some baseball. Whether you watch a game, replay a game, or just think about the game, have fun, and stay safe. Till next time, my name is Joe, signing off.